question we have is, how do you engineer your inner self such that your inner peace is only in your hands and not dependent on what goes on in the outer world?
Thank you for this question. It's a very good question, personally, I think. Well, actually, there are so many things distracted from outside to you. So you have a lot of kind of temptation when you see outside of the world, so many things, But the inner peace is within you. You can find, or anyone can find inner peace if you keep practice. So basically, I guess, you should learn to meditate to find the inner peace, Then also it helps you to accept the things what happening, good or bad, from your outside and your inside, and you can learn how to let it go, So you will be more happy and proud. What do you have? Who you are, So I think, of course, meditation can help you to get the inner peace, to have less jealous, less ego, and less desire. Thank you.
Next question, I'm pretty sure the answer will be similar.
Yes, I guess.
What is an actionable thing you recommend to do daily to positively contribute to health, wealth, success, and personal growth?
Good question. Well, I think, especially, for the mental training, once again, you have to learn meditation to have good health. The health, how to say, there are two types. We call the mental health and physical health. So in that way, for the mental health, learn meditation, train your monkey mind, monkey brain, not to have too many thoughts and bring stress. Sometimes you feel unhappy inside your mind, anxiety, depression, worries, and tense. So if you learn meditation, it will help to have mental good health, okay? But for physical, of course, food is very important, So you have to learn how to avoiding the food which is not good for your physical health, and you have to learn how to practice exercise, you go to gym or do exercise, running, jogging, this kind of practice, keep you good health, okay? And also, if we talk about the wealthy, you want to get more and more money. In that way, you have to, of course, try not to think too much, I guess, not to think too much billion things, it's too big. So you have to focus the present and go step by step. So you need a lot of patience and right understanding, right thinking on your company or on your work, So basically what I want to say, as I learn, the wise people never think about money, So money always follow you. So you do business or you do work, I think you have to enjoy your work, what you're doing. So you are enjoying your work, and then of course, the wealth will follow if you work hard or if you enjoy with your work. That's what I think basically.
This question isn't on the list, but I'm going to add it in. Many people think wealth is only about money. So how would you define wealth?
I think, let's talk about the monk in formal time, They has no bank account, no car, no house, nothing they have. But they looks more happier than who have very good wealth, rich people. Because rich people still, they have a lot of property, many things, many wealth, but still very stressed inside, So in that way, what I want to say, you are not a monk, okay? So how do you can, I would say, not as a monk. So learn to keep balance. I don't mean money is not important, car, good job, you need a house, those are important. But the thing is, you also need the inner peace. So that's why in that way, I will say, keep balance between your wealth, money, the things that you need, you want, you have, but also take care of your inside, So you are healthier in your wealth and in your inner peace, something like that. So which is we call internal and external balance. It's very important.
Okay, next one. When it comes to growth, how do you allow yourself to grow beyond your limits?
I think, nothing is good if you over even yourself, So you should know that limitation, boundary, okay? So it doesn't mean, sometimes, we don't want beyond our limitation like your question. But the thing is, you always need to be mindful, kind of being aware, not too much, So you need the awareness. How can I go step by step, So that's what I think basically in this question.
How do you learn to meditate profoundly?
Well, actually, you know what? As a beginner, I call them baby meditators, It's hard for them. Like I was also a baby meditator before. I know nothing. So how can I learn meditation in right way or deeper way, So I will recommend, okay, if you want to learn meditation, go to a meditation retreat. So there are so many retreats in Chiang Mai or in Thailand. You go for 1 day meditation, then go for overnight retreat, then 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, step by step, And then I want to recommend people at least, 10 days Vipassana retreat, It's a life-changing experience, of course, And then after that, you go for 3 weeks or 26-day retreat, Like when I was a student, I was able to go to 45 days retreat. So if I didn't complete for 10 days, or 21 days, it's hard to go to 45 days. So that's why you must go step by step, you must learn. And when you go to the retreat, it's not enough. You have to practice formally and informally. So formally means twice a day, regularly you do that. And you try to increase your time, And informally, wherever you go, for example, you drive a car, someone bother with you and you get stressed or something, then at that time you should be mindful, feel your stress, but try not to dwell on that. This kind of things you have to practice mindfulness.
How do you stop yourself from being affected by outside drama? Is there a specific technique you use?
Well, in this question, I will go with mindfulness, being aware, knowing, because everything is impermanent, and what do you expect from the outside? You don't get it, and when you don't expect something, it's happened to you. So in that way, anything could be happen. Everything is impermanent. So better be mindful, being aware, knowing anything happen, good or bad, accept it, but be mindful again not to dwell on that. And if you don't dwell, everything will become change, impermanence or temporary.
Do Buddhist monks think the key to life is compassion?
Of course, compassion is important, but it's not exactly the main key, So basically, according to Buddha's teaching, when you talk about the compassion, not only compassion is important, there are 4 boundless teaching of the Buddha. We call Brahma Vihara, okay? So we call Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha. It means loving kindness come first, then compassion, then sympathetic or empathic joy and equanimity, So before compassion, you must have loving kindness, Thank you.
How can I incorporate mental mindfulness into my daily routine? What if I don't have the time or lack the willpower to meditate?
Actually, you know what? If you have no time, then you cannot cooperate with your mind to get the inner peace or whatever. The thing is, I think you must have your right intention first, then your right effort, your mindfulness, and your concentration, and then your practice. Okay, those are very important, and also self-discipline and self-respect. All right. Most of the Western people that I know, they said, I don't have time. Actually, you know what? Time cannot speak. Time will never say, I have time, please come and, use me. You need the right intention from yourself. That's why I used to tell my friends, if you have time to breathe in and breathing out, then you have time to meditate. Okay? So you have to make it as well. So you need the right intention and those things that I told you in earlier.
So how can you add Buddhist values to business?
It's a good question. Well, actually Buddhism is a way of life, way of living. So business is very common in a way of living, okay? So you can do business, but do with your, I guess, kind and compassion, love and respect. You do business not to harm someone and you are not harming yourself, you know. So in that way, I think you need to apply your moral, mental and wisdom. So moral means what? You are not doing bad to you, to others. So mental means what? You pure the mind, you have more loving kindness and compassion and forgiveness. And the wisdom means what? It's right understanding and right thinking that you can develop your business. So those all are Buddhist values that you can apply in a business, I guess. Thank you.
So how do you define success?
Well, success has many different ways, I guess. Like, you know, you focus on your education. You want to be a higher education, PhD doctor, you know, or you want to be very good businessman. That's what you want to be successful, all right? So in that way, that has a different things that, you know, how could you define your success, you know? So in that way, I think if for example, if you want to be a good businessman, then you have to focus, you know, you have to be more mindful, concentrate, acknowledge on your work, you know, and you cannot be crazy, I guess, you know, that I immediately want to be a successful person. No, go step by step. You know, there are so many successful person in this world, like you know, you see in the China has a very famous guy. How to say? I forgot his name. Okay. Yes. In China, you see famous businessman, Alibaba founder Jack Ma, or the Mr. Mark.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Yes, in you know, so those kind of famous person, you have to get the motivation from them. How did they start, you know, in business to be successful? Of course, you know. So everything goes step by step. Sometimes, you know, you try, you are not success. You try, you are not success. In that way, you need the patience, how to overcome as well. Okay, but you know, that is in externally. Business is more about the external way, but the internal, it's all about your mind. So to success your mind or to define your mind, I guess you of course should learn to meditate, you know.
What was the most difficult aspect of establishing a consistent meditation practice for you?
There are so many distracted things, you know, when I started to learn meditation. When I keep silence even for a few minutes, I can't. My monkey mind, monkey brain, monkey thoughts jump around all over the world, you know. So it was so hard for me to even focus for a few seconds or minutes, you know. So in that way, my teacher told me that, you know, meditation is not easy if you don't use it in right way, you know. So he told me that before you meditate, what you need is right effort, you know. So let's say you practice for 5 or 10 minutes, you must have the right effort first. Because if you give up, then you will not learn how to keep patience, how long you practice. Then you need the right mindfulness, being aware, knowing, okay? Your mind could be jumped so many places, or after you sit for a while you get pain or numb or sleep your leg, or so many things could happen. At that time, use your right mindfulness, accept those things and try not to dwell on that, and to let it go. You bring your mind back and focus again one thing. So those kind of mindfulness practice step by step, and one day you became successful in your meditate. You will not face the difficult to practice meditation.
And what made you decide to become a monk?
Well, personally, you know, I decided to become a monk to do something good and dedicate to my parents and ancestors for rest in peace, because I lost my parents and I have never seen my grandparents in my life, you know. So at the time I was thinking, you know, maybe, you know, Buddhist people believe in past life and, you know, next life. So I think I did something bad karma, that's why this life I could not be happy with my parents and grandparents. So then I decided to become a monk and to do good for them, for rest in peace, and also in next life to being with them, And also this is a different thing that I want to share, Basically in Thailand, it's very common for a young boy to become a monk or a novice monk at least once in life. So most of the young boys decided by their parents and they became a monk for education. Education is not only about the Buddhism, it's a general education, the math, science, or geography, or English, or something like that. It's a general education. And also some people, they decided to become a monk, because it's part of the Thai typical traditional way. When we have a funeral ceremony, someone, they became a monk for the dead body, And also, during the rainy season, we have a Buddhist rainy retreat. We call it Khao Pansa, during rainy season for 3 months. So it's very specific time for Buddhist monk to keep practice. We're not supposed to go overnight even up the temple, if not important or necessary. So some people, they became a monk only for the 3 months, to practice, to know more about the Buddhism and meditation as well.
And how do you process and deal with stress? What steps do you take to regain your peace when a situation throws you off balance?
Well, in that way, I will go with meditation, of course, So, don't think that even Buddhist monk has no stress, to be honest. I experience a lot, Like I have a younger sister, she was in big problems, And then as an older brother, as a monk, I was very stressed because I didn't see her for a long time. We were in different cities, So then, she was asking me help, but I couldn't help her, like financially, So it was so stressful for me. So what did I use? The technique of get away from stress, I practice meditation, which we call the mindfulness, especially the vipassana. It's all about the mindfulness practice, So there has the 4 main foundation: mindfulness of body, feelings, and emotions, thoughts, and mind objects. So there is one mindfulness of emotion that you practice that technique. So I was being mindful, being aware. I try to accept my stress feelings. I just know that I'm stressed, and I try not to dwell on that. And I try to let it go. I try to relieve it. To relieve what I do, I bring my stress mind to concentration mind. I concentrate an object. Let's say you focus or observe your breathing in, breathing out, in and out. So the concentration mind with an object make you mind calm, and you feel tranquility, peace, And then the mindfulness insight, that kind of practice helped me not to dwell with your stress. So then wisdom also develop. You have right understanding, right thinking. If you don't dwell or pull with the stress mind, or emotion, that became impermanent change. That's what I practiced myself.
How can we teach those around us not to be so angry in a world filled with angry people in survival mode?
Well, in this way, we can teach people, we call loving kindness meditation, So loving kindness meditation help a lot people to have less angry, less aggressive, more like that, And for example, when you practice loving kindness meditation, you start with yourself, with your beloved one, like your family, your friends, and then with with all living beings, with all the religions, and then start with the people who hate you, who don't like you, who make you aggressive or angry. For example, you keep note in your mind, may my enemy be free from suffering and pain, something like that, more and more. So when you do that, you have less angry. And of course, angry is part of your emotion. It's called negative emotions. If someone bother with you or do something wrong or bad, you immediately get angry, of course. So in that way, you have to learn also mindfulness of angry. Know you're angry, accept it, but don't dwell on that. So not to dwell on that same thing, you have to bring your mind back to focus the present moment, like that, I guess.
What are your thoughts on good and evil? Do you think people are born evil or born good?
Well, it's a good question. Thank you for this question. According to my opinion, no one born as a bad or good, or evil or good, because we has no sign. Hi, I born to be a bad person, or someone say, hi, I born to be a good person. No, we have no sign. Okay, but it could be, the environment, or it could be the situation change the people, or it could be behavior or characteristics of the people, So I think basically myself, no one born as a good and evil, But for example, circumstances also happen, Let's say an example, you have a friend, actually you don't know he's a bad person. You just go to hang out with him, somehow he killed a person. And the cops came and then, take both of you. So you're a witness and it's your friends. So somehow, in that way, that I'm not an evil person, I'm not a bad person, but somehow the law put me in the jail. In that way, you can get some kind of depressions, you're not enjoying your life. In that way, you could become a bad person because someone forced you to be a bad person, something like that. So some situation or circumstances could change people's behavior or their characteristic. That's why, to be honest, being a Buddhist monk, no one born as good or bad. But if you have a very good education, like if you, for example, like what we learn from Buddhism, to do good, to avoiding bad, to purify the mind. So if we can train that things, then you could be a good for you, a good for other.
What are your thoughts on the practice of total accountability? And is it true that we all create our own reality?
Well, in that way, I think we have to learn to accept the situation, okay, and the truth. And of course, you need forgiveness, love and kind and compassion, So the thing is, you just think that yourself, especially we learn from the past. Maybe somehow you have been mistakes sometimes, and you don't want to say sorry, or even you don't want to redo or something, So in that situations, of course, you need the forgiveness, But when you forgive to someone, they could take advantage of you, using again and again. But in that way, you need the mindfulness, knowing, okay, they're using to me, taking advantage. In that way, you should not, let people to overcome again and again. How to say? Not overcome. It's more like a overuse, more and more, because it's not balanced to you and balanced to them as well. So of course, that's why there has the teaching in Buddhist way: forgive, forget, and let it go. 3 things.
A lot of people have a hard time letting go of their ego. How do you handle jealousy?
Well, actually, you know what? We should learn to be proud. What do we have? You should be happy and appreciate who you are. So, kind of like ego, of course, I think ego makes you jealous. It's destroy your insight, So you can get a lot of stress and not happy. In that way, I can share with you a short story. There was a blackbird. When he saw a white swan, he thought that, oh, very white. The swan must be very happy because of the white, So then he asked, you must be very happy because you are white, look so beautiful, And then swan said, when I see a parrot looks more beautiful in different colors, they can also communicate with human feed them. And then the blackbird asks, okay, oh yes, he looks so pretty, so nice, he must be happier than swan. And he asks, you must be happiest person in this world. Even you are not only looks beautiful, you can communicate with human, you can talk. Then parrot said, I saw a peacock next to me, looks so beautiful. Of course, peacock has different colors, blue, white, greens. When they open the tails, look so pretty, and their sound also very nice, And people go feed them, take selfie to post in the Instagram or somewhere, you know, like that. So then Blackbird saw and yeah, oh, my Buddha looks so nice, you know. So he went and he asked, you must be so luckiest person, happiest person, you know. And then he said, of course people love me, you know, I'm looks happy, you know, people feed me. But finally people put me in the cage, in the prison, you know. So I have no freedom, something like that. So then the moral of the story actually, you know, the blackbird is the happiest person because he has the freedom. He can fly anywhere he wants. He can eat whatever he wants. You know, he's not controlled by someone. You know, kind of no ego or something like that. You know. Anyway, the moral of the story: be happy who you are. Be proud. What do you have? Learn to enjoy your life.
I'll wrap it up with one last question. If you could tell the viewers 2 or 3 things they should do or they can do, whether they have 5 minutes in a day, 20 minutes in a day, or who knows how long they have, what can they do to improve their lives?
Hello viewers, this is such a good question. Thank you so much for watching us, and I would like to tell you to learn meditation and practice as if possible. Actually, according to my idea, of course you have to practice at least 20 to 30 minutes in a day for twice, early in the morning and evening. Of course, I think most of the viewers of mine or for viewers of us are baby meditators, so you don't have to worry. If you possible 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just do it. But try to go step by step, all right? And try to do good to you, to others. Try to avoiding doing bad to you and to others. So as I told you before, maybe if you watch my video, good or bad, who will decide? Your mind will decide. So meditate to purify the mind. So focus on the 3 things to balance 3 main actions: your mental, moral, and wisdom. Your mind, how to think right, speak right, and do right as well. Okay? And then forget to share your kindness, compassion, love, respect, and forgiveness. And there is one more thing that I want to share. Try to understand, try to know it. Your past, no matter good or bad, is already gone, so try to let it go. Past will come to your mind, you will remember it. Let it happen, try not to dwell on that. And you will see that will be impermanence and change. And then your future is not happening now, it's unknown. So why you worry too much on your future, about your future? Okay? So focus, learn to focus the present moment, be here and now, learn to be with today, and try to enjoy your life. So to enjoy your life, learn to enjoy your moment, because every moment is your life. Okay? That's what I want to say. Thank you.